Hello, beautiful people. Psychic Debbie again. Hope you're having a great day. Today, I'm going to talk about the miracle that happened at Canyon de Chelly. I don't know if anybody knows where Canyon de Chelly is. I was told this many years ago in the 90s. I went to an expo. I wasn't doing it because I was running away from my abilities. So I had this beautiful psychic, and I believe her name was Terry, and she has a book called Small, Medium, at Large, and she's a small, beautiful lady who did readings in New York. And I was going to see her little gallery or her lecture, and I was going along, excuse me, I was going along getting her because I read her book, and which is called Small, Medium, at Large. And I read her book, and I was going along the thing, and she looked at me and said, "You don't belong there. You need to belong over here." And I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "No, you need to stand next to me." And I'm like, "Okay." So I stood next to her, talking to the people that were walking by. And then after she did her lecture, we hung around with each other. And I wish we would have had a picture, but it was in the 90s, so it wasn't the time like now where you can grab your phone and, get a picture. And so I was emailing back and forth with her for a while. And I said, "Oh, I want to go to Sedona." And she goes, "Honey, you need to go to Canyon de Chelly. If you want some big vortexes, if you want a big opening, go to Canyon de Chelly." Okay. And so here, many years later, probably, I don't know, because that was probably year 2000 maybe, and I went like 10 years later. I don't know. But no, it was even later than that because I didn't have my opening until then. But so I didn't go until I was taking the trip again. Here we go. This is a couple trips that I've taken with this lady friend of mine. We were going from Montana again, but we were going down, go down Idaho, Utah. I wanted to see the Antelope Canyon, Ponderay Lake, I believe, not Ponderay, Lake Powell, then go to Canyon de Chelly and go down and hit Sedona. And so we get to, and the rain was following us everywhere. Okay, this was in August. It was not the monsoon because they weren't having any rain. Okay, and we were at the valley, the big valley there. That's Utah takes claim of it, and Arizona takes claim of it because it's right on the border there. And a lot of the old westerns are filmed there and stuff. So we were at that big valley there, and here comes this rainstorm, and people are like, "Where's the rain coming from? Oh my God, it's crazy," because we haven't had any rain. We've been having this drought. So this rain comes over, and my friend looks at me and she goes, "It's following you." And I go, "I know, I don't know what's going on." And so we drove from there all the way to Canyon de Chelly, which was a long trip, and they have this nice hotel right outside of the park. Well, it's not one of these national parks that you have to pay. You can just drive in, and it's a big cavern, and they have a display there. It's Indian land, I believe, and they have a display there of this big, huge. It's a huge valley. It's like thousands of feet down, and in the middle of it is this rock, and they call it Spider Rock. Look it up, Canyon de Chelly. And so we spent the night at the hotel that's just outside of the park. We go to get dinner, and what happens? Rainstorm happens again, and the people, you can hear the people that own the restaurant. They're going, "Where's this rain coming from? They said we weren't supposed to get any rain." My friend's looking at me like, "Here we go again with the rain." And I just got back from doing that Angel Valley thing where I had rain again. So people are like, the rain was following me. And so, anyways, we go into the Canyon de Chelly, right? And so it's 115 degrees out again. It's crazy as can be. And so we go to, before that, I need to tell you the story of that I had the opening with John of God. That was another trip from Montana to Arizona. I had all these major openings of John of God. And if you look at John of God, he's the person that heals a lot of people down in Abu Dhabi, I think it is, in Brazil. And he does healings. Some people get scars and they bleed, and he doesn't even cut them. He does it. They get into this metaphor. They just get healed. It can be a vibration. A lot of people say they get downloaded and that they're asleep for 24 hours. And look up John of God in Brazil. And I also have a video on it. I talk about my experience. I didn't go down there, but I did have someone that went down there download me, and I did a John of God crystal bed, and I did all that stuff before this trip. This is another trip going down from Montana to Arizona because I do retreats down there and stuff. So being that said, you'll know why I'm saying this. So I'm I went to the edge of this huge cliff, and if you go to my website, there's a picture of me sitting on the edge, and that is me sitting on the edge of Canyon de Chelly. To the point my friend is going, get off the edge, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with you. She's like, oh my God, Debbie, you're gonna fall, get off the edge. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with you. I'm supposed to be at the edge. I don't know why. And she's like, okay. So she went over somewhere else to meditate, and there was hardly anybody there right now because there's a trail that goes through. And so there's this big valley, and then way on the other side is the cliffs again. And over there, way on the other side of the cliffs, were 3 eagles. Okay, and I'm still questioning, am I supposed to be doing this? I question it all the time. I still question it. Show me the way. Where do I go? What am I supposed to do? And so across the way through this huge valley, I mean, it's thousands of feet down. You got the spider rock, this 2 immense stones, and then you have the valley, and then you have this cliff over there with these 3 eagles. And so I said, while I'm kind of meditating, sitting over the edge of this cliff, I said, if I'm supposed to be doing this, have the eagles come to me, okay? Because they were circling over there. And they didn't come. And so then me and my friend get together at the sidewalk, and we go over to another edge, and we looked at all the stuff, and we were talking about our meditation and what's coming through and stuff like that. And so I told her about the eagles and asking, you know, for my powers to get stronger so that I can help more people find their spiritual truth. And she was working on healing. She wants to be a healer. She is a healer. And she was, that was the retreat thing, was trying to get her to open up. And so, and she's like, why is it not opening? Why is it not opening? And we were sitting on the edge, and all of a sudden I heard a voice say, because you're supposed to ask all universal sources, not just this, what you think is a universal source. They said, ask all universes. And I was like, we're supposed to ask all universes. She's like, oh my God, that makes sense. You know, that really makes sense. So it's crazy. So we go back to the edge where I was sitting, and all of a sudden we hear doom 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 doom, and we're like, what is that noise, you know? And so here comes this Indian, and I've got pictures of these people on my Facebook. If you go on my Facebook, just Debbie Griggs. Don't go to Psychic Debbie Griggs. It's Debbie Griggs. Way down, you'll see pictures of these people. And there's an Indian and a Japanese guy. And the Indian's pounding on the drum, you know, doing a drum. And the Japanese guy is standing behind him, da-da-da-da. And so while he's walking, me and my friend are walking out like this. And he sees me, and he said, you. And I said, yeah. And he goes, who are you? And I said, well, I'm Debbie. And then I'm very cordial because I'm thinking this whole thing is for my friend. And I said, this is my friend. And he goes, you're the healer? And I said, no, I am not a healer. She's the healer. I do intuitive readings. And he goes, no, you're the healer. And I said, well, why are you here? What are you doing? You know, why are you pounding and da-da-da? And he goes, we've gotten this rain all of a sudden. I don't know where this rain has been coming from. So I'm thanking Mother Earth, Spider Rock, for this rain. And I was like, my friend's looking at me like, yeah, we know where the rain's coming from. It's following you. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. And he said, well, he goes, will you join me in the ceremony of thanking the rain? And I said, I'd love to, you know. And he goes, but you need to heal me. You also need to heal me. And I said, no, I'm not the healer. My friend's the healer. So I still wouldn't allow it. Do you know what I mean? I was still fighting this allowing thing. I don't know what's wrong with me. Now I'm like, okay, allow, bring it to me, you know, bring it to me. So I don't know, it's crazy. So we go to this, there's a path there because there's like a cement path for people to walk because there's so many boulders and they don't want people falling off the cliffs. So so he went up on this rock right in front of the path, right in front of the spider rock. So he's standing there, and I still wouldn't accept it. So I had my camera out, and he's sitting there, the Japanese guy's next to him, and then my friend's sitting next to him, and I am taking pictures. Okay. So I'm taking pictures of them, and he's doing the ceremony, and they're da 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 da, and some of the tourists are coming through, and they're taking pictures of us doing the ceremony. Well, I was walking around because I was taking the picture, and I heard Spirit say, "Look up," and I look up, and there was the three eagles, and they were saying, "There's your answer. You are to heal. You are healing." And I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And so I'm like to my friend, "Look up," and she looks up, she goes, "Oh my God, there's the eagles you were talking about." And I'm like, yeah. And so the guy stops, the Indian stops, and he goes, "No, you are to heal me. You need to heal me now." And my friend was like, "No, let's go. We need to go." And I don't know if she was ready to do healing. And I'm like, "Oh, she's supposed to do the healing." We're kind of arguing with him. And he's like, "No, I want you to heal us." So we go into this like crevice, this rock, and he was sitting in front of me, and there's like a gap, just a little gap about this much, enough for our legs to, and he's sitting here, I'm sitting here, the Japanese guy's here, and my friend's here, okay? And so he goes, "Well, I want you to do a prayer, I want you to do a healing." And I'm like, I don't know what to say, you know, this is new to me, you know? So I just heard what to say. So I was like calling in the north, east, south, and west. I was calling the earth, I was calling the sky, I was calling the wind, I was calling the rain, I was calling the dirt, I was calling the leaves, you know, that it was going to heal all of us. It's going to heal universal source. And I was doing this prayer thing, and the guy's like drumming, but he's closing his eyes, and da 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 da. So we're doing this, and my friend, for whatever reason, just gets up and leaves. Okay. So when we open up our eyes, the Japanese guy goes, this is what he says, and this is no lie. It was just crazy. It was just really crazy. He goes, "I heard that we need to ask all universes to heal us, and I saw a bunch of universes around us." And when my friend was kind of over, when, like I said, she got up and left, and she's standing further away, and she's like looking at me like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So that's a confirmation that we're supposed to ask all universes, okay? And that's in whatever you believe in. You don't have to, not forcing you, just telling you what happened. And so then me and the Japanese guy looks at the Indian, and he looks at me, and his blood is coming down his cheeks. And we both, me and the Japanese guy, goes, "Oh, you're bleeding." And he goes, "What? Where?" And he goes like this, and he moves it, and there's no scar, there's no like a scratch, there's no nothing there. And he was bleeding tears, and he goes, "You healed me. You healed my tribe. You're healed because I'm crying the blood. I'm crying for the people that have passed. I'm crying for the earth," and da 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 da. And I'm like, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me. You know, I was just channeling it." Da 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 da. And he's like, "Thank you for healing me. Thank you for healing me." And I was like, okay, I was scared. I was scared. So that's where I keep on telling people, you can't be scared. I looked at him. I didn't even know his name. I don't know his name. Hopefully he sees this video. I got pictures of him. I'm sure he told me his name, but he was like crying for the earth, crying for the rain, crying for the tribe, crying for the people that pass, the people that are alive. Do you know what I mean? And he was just like, "I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding." And to me, then I heard Spirit, and am I saying I'm John of God? Oh, no, hell no. I'm just saying I think we all helped channel and brought some healing in that moment in time, right? But the spirits were saying it's like what John of God is doing. He's healing. He's just a channeler. And Spirit was telling me, you need to channel the same thing. So the Indian is channeling healing. My friend is channeling healing. The Japanese guys is channeling healing. Canyon de Chelly is channeling and healing. So it's kind of a unique story. Do you know what I mean? So I walked away from that. Like I said, I kind of ran away from it. I was like, okay. He's like, "No, you healed me. You need to do more." And I said, "No, I need to go." I was kind of scared, and I'm like trying to concept. I couldn't get my brain around everything that happened. Do you know what I mean? That we hit the right time to meet this Indian, that he's thanking the rain. The rain was following us. He wants the healing, that he's saying that I helped heal him, you know, and of course he healed me. You know, it's just crazy. It was just a beautiful, beautiful miracle. So what I wanted you to get from this is feel the vibration of the video. Second, ask all universal sources. Ask all universal sources. If you believe in God, but believe in all the vibrations and all the dimensions of God or Buddha or Earth or whatever you believe in. Allow all the dimensions, all the universes to come and help you. Okay? And then second of all, allowing it and not to bring the fear into it like I did. Do you know what I mean? So now sometimes I kind of, Debbie, you should have sat there and got to know him and did it. But if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. So I learned a big lesson there. So that was my miracle in Canyon de Chelly. Am I saying go to Canyon de Chelly? No. You can ask the vibration of Canyon de Chelly to come to you. Yes. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I hope this helps you with certain things. I hope that a miracle happens to you every minute of every second of your life. I really, really do. And I want to send you some blessings and smiles. You want to get a hold of me? PsychicDebbie.com. Have a great day. Have a great day. See, I'm still kind of, I'm thinking about it. I can't even talk to you right now. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.